All right, what's up, everybody? We back on catching up with Coach. We're here with my boy, Apostle Christopher Lang. Tell us about Christopher Lang, man. What's up, man? Let the people know.
Oh man, I'm minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, man. Been in ministry about 23 years. Uh, Music, Christian rap. I've done Christian rap for years. Got saved in '97, and when I got saved in '97, I came up out of the world from doing gangster rap, man. And I always had a sense that God was real, and He had protected me so much, being in crazy circumstances and situations to where I knew I should have just been gone, or I should have been in the penitentiary for life. And so I told God when I gave my life to Him that if He allows me to continue to do this music for Him, that I would. And man, it took me 5 years before I could even write a song, because I had to get into the word first. And once I got into that word, man, it was just an explosion of just His word pouring up out of me through Christian rap, man. So I'm grateful, but just a lot of ministry, man. Not only the Christian rap outreach, convalescent home ministry, feeding the hungry, going out to the hospitals, man, and praying for people. Just fivefold, well-rounded ministry, man. Evangelism, yeah. So that's what I'm about, man.
That's what's up, man. That's good stuff, man. Appreciate you, bro, for all the work that you put in. So I know you had a history with gangs, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a little bit about gang culture, man, and that street life.
Uh, well, I'm from California, man, and I'm from Compton, California, and
Mhm.
it's real bad out there. It's gotten a lot better, but that's just the lifestyle. Los Angeles is a huge city, and there are cities within cities in different counties in Los Angeles. Not only in Los Angeles, but in California. In all of those counties, there's a neighborhood or a set to be represented by brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
And if you're not from over there, or if you don't know somebody from in those certain sets and hoods, then you're more than likely to have some problems. It's separated between Bloods and Crips, and
Mhm.
then that mention that the population of Hispanics, because Hispanic gangs are totally different from Black gangs, and so you
Mhm.
got the Hispanics too, and they're doing their thing out there too, man. But it's a lifestyle out there, man. The gang culture is very, very prevalent out there. It's a lifestyle. People live and die by it,
Mhm.
and that's just how they doing it, man. And I grew up in it. A lot of neighborhoods. If you were born there, or if you started as a youngster, you
Mhm.
don't have courted in and jumped in. What a court in is and a jump in is when certain individuals from the gang, they put you in this circle for 2 to 3 minutes and they just all jump on you. Well,
Mhm.
my situation was totally different because I was in the neighborhood. I grew up in the neighborhood, so I didn't have to go through that. But a
Mhm.
lot of these guys coming in now, they got to go through getting jumped in and courted in. But it wasn't like that for me, man. But it's a culture, it's a lifestyle. And then when you see like Bloods and Crips in New York,
Mhm.
some in California, from an original gang in California, if you see any out of state gang from any other state, and it's a Blood or a Crip gang, 9 times out of 10, somebody from California came through there and
Mhm.
started that. So it's
Wow.
spread like what? Yeah, that's how you get gangs. Because from my old neighborhood, for instance, it's Campanella Park, Piru, and Compton. Well, there's a whole set in Portland, Oregon, of Campanella Park Pyrus. There's a whole set in Atlanta of Campanella Park Pyrus. So I say that to say again, somebody from the neighborhood went out to these other states. More than likely, they was out there selling dope or doing whatever they was doing, and then
Mhm.
the guy, out of town guys, they gravitate to that. They want to be like the coolest dudes. And so when the coolest dudes touch down in their state, they say, okay, well, we're going to start it up here. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. And y'all just keep it going. So that's how it grew and gravitated into the other states. But man, yeah, the culture is something else, man. But it is what it is. It's never going to die. It's never going to stop. It's never going to be eliminated. That's just how it is, but I'm happy that I got up out of it, and I'm grateful. It was just through the grace of God that I made it out, brother.
That's right, man. So where do you think the whole gang culture come from? Do you think people gravitate to it? Is it due to poverty? Is it due to, just the pressure of wanting protection, pressure from the police, injustice, or all
No,
the above?
broken homes, man,
Mm-hmm.
because absentee father, you don't have a man in the home to be able to teach your son or daughter right and from wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
when you have that representation and that leadership, then the kids go out and they find it from other people, other individuals. You know, a lot of these youngsters, man, male and female, they didn't have to join a gang. They had everything that they wanted at home, but they just didn't have that structure of a man being there to be able to teach and lead God and direct them into the right path. So I think that that's where it spun from that, from the broken man. And again, a lot of cats just looking for love, man. And when you come into that gang, man, you got a structure, you got love, you got they respect you, they look out for you. And when that's not there in your home, you are going to go somewhere else and look for that somewhere else. So that's where it spawns from, bro.
Wow. Yeah, and I understand that, man. Coming from a broken home myself, you know, um, like when I was 14, it was a guy, he was recruiting me, not necessarily for a gang. The gangs was kind of putting pressure on me as well, trying to get me to choose sides. But one thing that kind of helped me was sports. I was like, man, I play sports with most of these guys, so how can I pick and choose who I want to roll with? But the
Right,
one kingpin, I don't know why he was trying to wait till I was 16, but he was letting me know like once I turned 16, he was gonna get me protection, get me a gun. And what he would do, he would tell everybody, he was like, nah, nobody gonna touch my young boy. He's like, I'm looking out for him. So I was trying to avoid him like the plague. Every time I would see him on the corner, I'm like, man, I don't want to do that with the rest of my life. But
right,
so I understand about, the pressure when they kind of like see you, man, and it's like a wolf going after a sheep. You're innocent, just trying to maintain, and they
right.
see you out there by yourself, and it's like, nah, I want him. And he was telling me he was gonna set me up. He would give me all his singles and everything. You know what I mean? So it kind of glorified, and he would look at my sneaks, and he'd be like, man, I know you want better sneaks than that. And he's like,
Right.
I know you want to get up out this hood. I know you want to put your mom in the house. You know what I mean? So I understand the pressures of it, man, and it's so gravitating,
Yeah,
because you see the power and you see the females, they want to talk to this guy. The other guys in the hood want to talk to that guy. And,
right,
it's somebody that, even though they're doing bad, you still kind of look up to them because you see them giving people food, buying the kids ice cream,
right. A
getting
hero,
the
hero.
candy stores.
Yeah, man. And it's like that in every hood, man. It's like, and I do believe that every single neighborhood has a cat that's considered to be an OG, which is the original gangster, which has
Mhm,
been for years, done been through the ups and downs, probably done been to the penitentiary, done been shot a couple of times, done paid
mhm,
his dues, done put his work in. Those are all of the older dudes. You know what I'm saying? And again, just like the brother that you was just speaking on, that dude had influence on you as a young man because he was older than that. He was having things. He was having the money. He probably was having all the women. You saw how he was dressing. And young kids gravitate to that, man. That's what they want to be, That's what they want to have a nice car, a pocket full of money, be able to buy whatever they want to buy whenever they want to buy And a lot of times, man, if you don't have a good job or you don't your mom and dad isn't providing for you, then what do you do? Especially
exactly.
dope dealers. But the OGs got a lot to do, man, a lot to do with a lot of that, man, because they could shut it down. Because I know some OGs that saw potential in certain individuals and was like, nah, man, you got to get up out of here. You're not finna do this. You're not
Exactly.
part of this because I know that you got a future. So we ain't gonna allow you to be a part of this. And then they steer them in the right direction. But see, the problem with that is that we need to be, all OGs need to be steering kids and all of them in the right direction.
Exactly.
Be able to pick and choose who you don't want to self-destruct. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
right.
all the kids. You feel what I'm saying, man?
Yep. That's dope, man. Yeah, I like that, man. Can't be picking and choosing.
And pick and choose, man. Every life is valuable, man.
Exactly. That's key. Every life is valuable, man. And that brings us to the next point, man. How can we better equip ourselves and our youth, to be healthy spiritually, man, emotionally, mentally, physically? What's the best way of going about that, man?
The best way and the only way first is to bring them into the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. Because, and I speak for myself, I speak as for personal experiences. But before I met Christ, man, I was out there. I done sold dope. I done had the women. I done shot at cats. I done shot cats. I done did it all as far as the streets is connected, man. And in the moment that I got saved, now this is what did it for me. Because the Bible says if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that you shall be saved.
That's right.
I knew that I could not continue to live the way that I was living. I knew that I was going to end up dead or in jail. I knew that. And so I made a conscious decision to say, I gotta try Jesus. I don't have an option. But the moment that I did that, man, and I really believed it, he came into my heart and my whole life changed. Like the Holy Spirit really comes inside of you and dwells inside of you. And that's what makes the change within you. It's from the inside out. And that's what happened to me, man. So if we can get the church, and when I say the church, I mean a body of believers, to really get out and hit the blocks, man, and begin to evangelize and minister and show the love of Christ to the youth, man, then chances are they won't choose that. But the brothers and sisters that's actually called to do it have to be willing to get out and do it. See, a lot of church people won't go into the neighborhoods. They won't go. You got a small percentage of people that actually go out and really do the footwork as far as the frontline soldiers of evangelism, man. But exactly. That's the use, brother. That's what's going to save these children, man. They got to know Jesus. They got to know there's a better way. They got to know that they don't have to do that. And Jesus Christ loves them. He can change their life. He can save their life. And then the ultimate of it all, the best thing of it all, is that eternal life follows that. You see what I'm saying? But they're not taught. They're not taught that, because everybody, man, you could sit down with the hardest gangster in the world, man. And the hardest gangster in the world still has a reverence for God. He still has reverence for God, because the laws of God is written inside of every man's heart.
That's right.
It could be the hardest devil worshiper. You still gonna know something about the Lord, and you still gonna be receptive. You'll listen. You may not accept it, but you'll listen. So when we get to the point, man, when the body of Christ gets to the point where they want to start hitting up the neighborhoods and going out and really, really taking these kids under their wing, you'll see a change in the community, man. It can't help but to change, because God is love.
Right. Exactly. That's key, man. God is love, man. And just like you said, man, we need soldiers to go out. And that's another question that I have for you, man. How can we get back to the masculinity, man? How can we promote that and bring that back into our neighborhoods, into our homes, man? Masculine.
That starts in the home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have a parent that is willing to compromise their son or daughter's sexuality, then what do you do? If you have a parent that's willing to say, it's okay that you were born a guy, but it's okay that you can be a girl. You know, it's okay that you can wear this purse. If you want to put on a dress, you can do that. That has to be shut down, man. Because for one, well, this is a two-part answer. Because any male that I don't believe that anybody's born gay. Not that we spoke about gay people or whatever, but I just don't believe it. I believe that it was spirit connected to it. And when spirit, it's because we battle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers. And anybody that's struggling with homosexuality, they are influenced and touched by a principality. Now, it could have came by somebody being molested when they was younger, because spirits transfer. You know, that homosexuality spawns from a spirit, and it's from the pits of hell. Nobody is born like that. You know, but when we talking about getting back to the masculinity, it comes from the men, the true men of God need to stay in the homes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guilty of it too, because I'm, divorced and I got kids, or whatever. But, we got to teach the kids, man, the right way. And when we don't the right way, then they're obviously going to take the wrong path. So to get back to the masculinity thing, man, they have to be taught. They have to be taught. You cannot pump your kid up and influence your kid and allow your kid to think that putting on a dress or wearing a purse or switching or talking like a female is good if he was born a boy, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And it's a big old spiritual thing, man. It's a big
That's right.
spiritual. I think if we stick to the word, man, it's a cure for every sickness, every disease, and every circumstance and situation in the word of God. And all we got to do is teach them that word of God, man, and they'll be all right. But the problem is that a lot of people don't follow the word and they don't follow the Bible. And because they don't follow the Bible, there is no direction because there is no instruction.
That's the truth.
Yeah, man.
Perfectly stated, man. That's the truth, man. We got to start letting these kids grow up, man, and stop impressing upon them pop culture and
Yeah,
things the world is say is cool. You know,
yeah, because
it's all
it's
about
not.
that relationship with God.
Yeah, man, it's not cool because everything that the world is telling them to do is pretty much contrary to what the Bible is telling us how to live. So
Exactly.
you got two different lifestyles, and of course because they seeing all these the lust of the flesh and the pleasures on these music videos and all these songs, they want that, and because they want that, it's gonna automatically conflict with the right way of doing things. So
That's
it's gonna be a struggle and a battle, but at the same time, it can be done because people is getting set free every single day, man.
exactly. That's
Mhm.
the truth, man. So, in your opinion, how can we fix the black community as a whole, man? What can we do to, better come together?
Man, as a whole, fixing the black community, man. Again, I think that some of the leaders in the black community need to come together. They
Mm-hmm.
need enough is enough, and they need to be meeting up like the Panthers did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And the moment that we begin to take back our communities is when we'll have some stability and some leverage. You see
that's
what I'm saying? Because all we got to do is, if you got 5 or 6, 7 or 8 brothers that's really, really concerned about the future of the youth, then they're gonna come together and they're gonna do whatever it takes to get these youth out of the situation that they're in. You
that's
see
right.
what I'm It shouldn't be where a grandmother could be walking down the street and somebody can snatch her purse. You know what I'm saying? Or it shouldn't be when somebody is riding by and a little 3-year-old gets shot by a stray bullet. We should have control of communities, man. And it's going to take leaders stepping up, brother. That's what it's going to take. That's how we're going to fix the black community. When the black community leaders decide to really step up, get out there, start taking these children under their wing, and just start putting the smash down. And when I say put the smash down, really telling them, look, this is not the way to go. This is not the way you should be living. We shouldn't be killing up our own people. We shouldn't be pushing this dope to our own people. And we're not going to have it in this community. And the moment that they do that, you will see every black community healed and doing good. But until the leaders step up, it's going to remain the same.
Exactly.
You got to have solid leaders that's willing to lead these kids the right way.
That's right. And I know I had an interview with another brother, and we was talking about the barriers that sometimes religion can cause. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's your opinion on that? Will you be able to work with like a Muslim brother to fix the community if need be?
Oh yeah, I listen to Farrakhan, to be honest with you, and Farrakhan's a Muslim because Farrakhan knows who Jesus Christ is.
Yeah.
Man, matter the religion to me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
Jesus showed that in the Word that it was never about religion. The
That's right.
Pharisees, Sadducees made it about religion. He came
Exactly.
in the name, excuse me. He came in the name of love. You
That's
see
right.
what? He never pushed religion on people. A real good sister, dear sister of mine, Apostle Liberty Cheney, she preached on that this morning. How Jesus sat with the publicans and the sinners. You see what I'm saying? So, a religious person is not going to sit with a sinner because a religious person automatically feels that a sinner is not on their level and they're much better than that sinner. When, on the contrary, it's not like that. Jesus didn't come for that. He came to heal the sinner. You see what I'm
That's
saying? I sit with anybody, man, that's willing to make positive change, bro, because it's not about religion. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm sold out. And I already know God has already shown me his power, his grace, his mercy. He has shown me who he is. I
right.
walk. So I can't be derailed or deterred from that. There's nothing that's not going to, till I take my last breath, it's always going to be Jesus Christ of Nazareth, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. But
Amen.
if willing to do something positive, man. I listen to a lot of brothers. Brother Cam, on Instagram, he from California. He's a Muslim, because everybody wants the same thing. We want to see the community here. So,
That's right.
division is nothing but a poison. And that's one thing
Exactly.
I never pushed, man. I never pushed division. I never pushed, religion, because that right there promotes separation. You know, that's why you got all these denominations in the church, and they all separated, and they don't believe the same thing. But the
Yeah.
moment they come on one accord, the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? As long as you start walking together and start agreeing, man, you will see great change, bro.
Amen to that, man. That's dope, man. Appreciate you, brother. Let's talk about your music, man. Promote your I think you got a new project coming out, right?
Yeah, man, I'm in the early stages of it, man. I just lost a real dear brother of mine, man. This was 2 days ago.
Sorry
Uh,
about that, man.
yeah, man, he didn't have COVID-19. He had some other health issues, and
Mm-hmm.
his wife said that he had got sick last Sunday. She took him, and then it just progressed. He got worse. She took him to the hospital, man, and his heart stopped, and he just stopped breathing, man. And he was a brother, man, that when I moved to Oceanside, California, this brother, he was the first person I met in church, and we had the same drive as far as music goes. And I told him what I did, and we just got cool, man. This dude's just a real good brother, man. First time I ever ate sushi. You know, he took me to the sushi bar. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that, man. I can't put down sushi now. He's like, man, just try it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man, and he was in the music, man, and I was really contemplating on, doing another album, man, because I've been off the scene for about 5 or 6 years. The last mixtape I did it 5 years ago. But then I started to do, after he passed away, because I asked God, it's funny because I said, Lord, if you give me the strength to do this thing one more time, just like Samson did, just give me this, got to be empowered to write them lyrics for the Lord. You really be empowered by the Holy Spirit. So I asked God, just give me that strength like Samson to do it one more time. And then I found out that my brother passed away. But what God told me in that is that I'm giving you the go ahead because this guy supported you. He backed you. He was on your songs and he really wanted to see you keep going. So now I'm telling you, keep going. So I'm in the beginning stages, man. I'm in the beginning stages of just trying to gather some music, man, but it's still in me. As soon as I get me a couple of tracks, I'm going to start writing, man. I'm going to jump back in that studio and I'm going to put it out, man. It may not be till next summer because I'm going to take my time because it's got to be right. But at the same time, it's going to be fire, bro. It's going to be fire. So I'll keep you posted and updated on that.
Cool, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on with catching up with Coach, man. I love the info, man.
Man, this is a pleasure, man. This done sparked something in me, man. I ain't did an interview in a minute. This is the brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Be encouraged, bro. Hit me up anytime, man. You know I'm there.
I will, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, thank you for all the support, man. Always hit me up, giving me encouraging words, man. Love you for that, man.
Oh, man, you already know. You used to come on the prayer line and everything, man. And ain't much change, man. I'm not in California no more. I'm in Indiana right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just working and doing what God would have me do out here. But I'm still here, still around, man. And I appreciate you. How often do you do this?
Man, I just started it up, man, like a couple weeks ago. So I've been doing it here and there. Yep.
Okay. And what you really have a different brother on every week, or how you
Yeah,
do it?
different brother, different sister, whoever. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Gotta start tuning in, checking it out. I didn't even know. When you
Yep.
asked me to interview, I didn't even know, man. I didn't know what you was gonna do. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Cool, bro.
This right here is all right, man. And then two, man, because I got two sons that rap, man. They don't rap for the Lord, but they have a lot of influence. My one son just did 13 years in prison, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a long time, man. And I got my other son, he's 22. They both do music, man. And I'm about to actually interview them and get their take on where the music is going and have my son speak on that prison life for 13 years. You know, both of them are real good brothers, man, and they got a lot of knowledge. So I'll keep you posted on when I'm going to do that. It's probably going to be within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. I want to get a flyer done and push it right so that people can actually tune in and hear these testimonies. But I'll definitely keep you posted on that, bro.
All right, bro. All right, man. Have a good night, man.
All right, man. You too. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.